Hello and welcome to The Lion Show. I am your host, Robert Lyon, your favorite business coach. Today we're going to be talking about selling services online, and we're specifically going to talk about how to start these businesses, what the mess in the middle kind of looks like, and then how to scale these businesses as well as sell high ticket services online. This video is mostly just about the business model of selling services online. So selling services online include things like SEO, digital marketing, copywriting, video editing. We're mostly focusing on digital services online. There's probably a lot more that we can do, but for this necessarily business model, we're just going to basically focus on things that you can do from your home that pay high ticket and that you can launch right away. The video after this, I'm actually going to show you step by step how to build one of these sites right away in like 60 minutes. It's a very simple funnel, but it works incredibly well. It's not very expensive, and I'm basically just going to give you all the tools. I also have a couple links down below. I made a list of the 50 highest paying services, digital services down below. If you want to download that, just got to plug in your email and I'll send it off to you. And it also comes with kind of like some starter guides on how to start these businesses and how to learn more about them. But like the highest paid ones is obviously like lead generation, web design, video editing, SEO. All these things are very lucrative and they can become very valuable for people. Posting to social media, copywriting, these are all just ideas that can turn into lots of money if you execute them properly and if you do them the right way. But now let's talk about how we can turn these services into a business. So number one is you have to be creative. You have to have the idea, and you have to be able to basically make money doing it. Like, there's two styles of this business model. There's one where it's almost practically hands-off, and it's kind of low ticket, but you just can bust them out, like short video editing where you just you can bust them out and you can do all your work in like a weekend. Like a lot of the Fiverr gigs and weird stuff like that, those are all there. And then there's the other version where you have like a whole agency and you have a team of people that are all kind of doing the systems, and you really want to inevitably get it to the point where you have like organic traffic, paid traffic, all turning into customers, and then you have a team of virtual assistants, or you have some software that kind of does a lot of this work for you, because then you can really scale, and then you mostly just focus on what you want to focus on in the business, and you basically are, what do they say? They say you're working on your business, not in your business. That's the goal we want to get to. But to start, we have to first have like a vision. We have to have a dream. We have to have a service that we really love or that we're very good at, that we can do very fast, better than anybody else. Myself, lots and lots of different digital marketing skills. I'd say my superpowers are like SEO, lead generation, copywriting, and paid advertising. But then I also do make lots of content. I have just a wide range of skills. So for me, in my mind, I think building funnels that generate leads and sales for people is my golden ticket. And I also think copywriting, because I think the art of thoroughly communicating with customers is going to serve me and my business for the long haul. So you want to think about things that you can do really easily that grow into amazing things. Then once you have that idea or you have that vision for what your service that you're going to provide is, then you can build one of these funnels. I call them irresistible funnels. I'll show you how to build them in the next video. So once you have your funnel set up, your funnel consists basically of a landing page, a video sales letter, and a way for you to get paid. And then once you have a bunch of emails, you email them, and then you can start creating content, doing SEO, and all this other stuff. But when you first start out, first you have to have the vision. Then you have to go from 0 to 1. You have to get that first customer. And this, for a lot of people, really the first 10 customers is like the hardest thing ever, because you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your abilities, and you have to visualize something that's not here yet. You have to manifest your business. The best ways to do this is to just get super crystal clear on what you're offering. The more sure you are and the more clear you are on what you're offering, the better you're going to be able to communicate that to your customers. The better you're going to be able to teach people what it is that you do and then deliver your irresistible offer so that they can become your first customer. And the main thing with this is you can't be afraid of getting shit done and starting something new. That's the biggest thing. Some people will get all hyped up and they'll be all excited, and then when it finally comes to getting their first customer, they back away because they feel like they're unprepared. But you have to start somewhere. You have to put one foot in front of the other, and you have to get that first paying customer. Now, sometimes people have to do a whole bunch of free work before they get their first customer. And that's fine too, because you're at least doing the work. You're at least putting in the hours, figuring out the systems that are going to make it happen. But what you're really trying to go is go from 0 to 1. Once you have gone from 0 to 1, you're going to be able to tweak your funnel, and you're going to want to be able to produce the absolute best work possible while making a profit. It's very important. Usually when people start out, they tend to charge less money thinking that they'll be able to do it faster, but then as you grow, you realize, oh, this takes a lot more time, I'm actually a lot more valuable. And what you realize is the difference between the high value customers and the low value. Your first key is getting your first customer to pay you what you're worth. And as soon as you realize, the value is in the eye of the customer. The value is that what you bring. And as soon as you realize that you bring more value, then you can start to charge more money. And the real goal is to figure out how you can charge basically 3 times more than you are in the beginning. Main thing to charging high ticket is just adding more value or talking to the customer into seeing more perceived value for what you do so that you can charge higher prices. But again, you want to be able to pay yourself, you want to be able to pay your employee, and you want to be able to pay your business. So that there alone should trigger you to realize, this should be a high ticket business, and that should be your goal from the jump. Because selling low ticket stuff and getting a customer is totally fine. But you're going to end up in a shitty situation if you don't have those high-end packages. I even recommend always having a affluent package, meaning a very, very expensive for people that just want the best. And you'll be surprised how many people will take that because they just want the best. They want your best work. That's very important though. We're talking like $5,000, $10,000 packages. And then also it works as a psychological device because you can say, well, if you want our premium package, it'll be $10,000. And then when you hear that price, they'll go, oh, damn. And then you can say, but if you just want to get started today, it's just a low down payment of $2,000. After they hear the $10,000 price mark, they'll be like, oh, $2,000 really isn't that much for this service. That's very important. And when you're building these businesses, it's important to constantly be focusing on building a system, something that can make you money even when you're not there. In the beginning, you're more than likely going to have to lace up your boots and do the work. You know what I mean? You're going to have to do the first few, but it's important that even you screen record what you're doing as you do it, and you're talking to yourself as you're walking through so that you can use those videos later on to teach your employees. Once you have a grasp on, maybe your niche, maybe your customer, maybe how you can deliver it, how you can get it done faster, and you really have a good idea enough to the point where you can explain it to somebody, I would definitely start hiring. I would almost start hiring as soon as you get one paying customer and you have proven to yourself that this is a viable concept. Because if you have that employee ready to work, ready to go, and you are just focused on the sales, or you are just focused on putting out the content to drive traffic to your sales page, then you can just focus on what you really want, and then you can even hire somebody to do the sales, and then you can even hire somebody to do the content, and it just can snowball onto each other. Just like with many of these businesses, there's always going to be that hard climb up the hill that you have to get to the point where you're making regular money. It's going to be a grind. Just like almost everything in life, it starts out really hard before you start seeing results. But then once you start doing the right things on a consistent basis, it'll snowball into this beautiful business that'll be able to make you money. And you might even be able to take a step back from your business and let it run itself while you work on other projects. This is really what I think a lot of people and what you should be doing, especially if you're taking this course, Let's Become Millionaires, serious. Because then you can really focus on mastering skills and getting paid to master those skills. This is very important. Say if you start a copywriting company, you're going to get pretty damn good at copywriting because people are going to be paying you to get better at copywriting. If you're doing SEO, you're going to get damn good at SEO because people will be paying you to get results, and you're going to be all in. And then you're going to learn the systems behind these businesses. You're going to learn the processes of turning a customer into a paid customer, and then turning that customer into a happy customer, into a raving fan, so that he tells other people, so that your business can start to grow word of mouth. These are all very important. Now we're going to talk about outsourcing. I already talked about how you should be video recording, or at least having like a notebook where you're writing down all your thoughts and ideas of how the process of your business is going to work. Now, the places that I like to outsource is actually called outsource.ph. And I like hiring Philippine people because they work, they're on a different clock than us. So when I'm sleeping, they're waking up, and they can be working at night while I'm working during the day. And you have to obviously hire fast and fire fast. And this is going to be very controversial, but you really, when you're starting out on a business, is you want to get the absolute best work for the cheapest you possibly can. And paying, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm all about supporting people and helping them grow. But when you're building a business, that's just how it works. That's just kind of how you have to start. You got to bootstrap. And then you obviously want to get to the point where you can pay your employees as much as you possibly can for the absolute best work. But when you're starting out, you just kind of have to do whatever you can to make sure that the business survives. That's why I like getting VAs. But you can also hire from like Upwork, Fiverr. You can just go in Facebook groups. And you really have to practice your negotiating, but you really want to get them down to doing their best work that they possibly can at the cheapest possible price in the beginning. You always want to have incentive that says, we're just starting this. Once we get bigger, we'll be able to pay you a lot more money so that you can live a full-time wage. Or you always have to decide if it's important to hire a freelancer to do one part of your job or to hire someone full-time. Almost always, it's a better use of your time to just hire one person instead of hiring multiple freelancers that are just going to do one part of the job. But you could also hire freelancers to teach your VAs how to do it full time. And there's also a very interesting trick when it comes to hiring, and I'm just going to tell you this, judge me or whatever. But let's say that you are getting your first customers and you're trying to find the right VA. What you can do is you can give VAs or people on Upwork the actual job that your customer needs. And then you can have multiple people showing you their best work, and you'll be able to take the work from the job interview and use it and see which one gets you the best results, and then you can hire that person. This is just kind of a sneaky way, but it works. And what you really want to be thinking about is building a team of people that you get along with that can really produce and stay focused and get the job done in a reasonable manner. Really, the things that people care about is they care about quantity, quality, and quickness. Those things that all can be probably made better with better systems, a better team, or having experts that work for you. So if you just hire experts right out the gate, you're going to have to pay them more, but you're going to deliver better results faster, so you might be able to have a faster turnover. It all just depends really on how much you're charging. So you really want to keep raising your prices, especially once you get going. You can give deals in the beginning, but then you want to raise your prices until they're as high as they possibly can. And you're going to find that there's going to be new playing fields for new prices. There's going to be bigger opportunities. And the other thing you want to do is when you're making this business is you want to document everything. You just want to have a large swipe file of your ads to get ads, a large repertoire, a resume of work that you've done for customers, and you want to get a lot of testimonials. Almost in the beginning, you could do free work for just testimonials to put on your website. And that's always pretty cool, but you want to get like video testimonials so you can run them as ads. And then once you have solid employees and you have a solid team, that's when you're going to probably get to the mess in the middle. When things are really working well, you're going to want to try and break your business before you leave it. So you want to just try and throw as much as you can at it so that it is strong enough to go on without you and make a lot of money. But there's always going to come to that point where you feel like you can't scale, you feel like you don't know how to make it better, and that's when you can hire a business coach, or that's when you can go and call other people in the same line of work and just start talking to them and see if they have any way to get through this. But from what I've discovered in the many businesses that I've built, is it's just a game of perseverance. You got to push through the hard times to get to the good times, to get to the other side. And that happens with everything. So you're going to have the scary part at the beginning where you have to man up or woman up and get the first customer and the first paying, and then you have to do a lot of conversations with a lot of strange people to hire them. And then you're going to get to the part where the ball is rolling. And this is the part where you're going to start feeling excited and everything's going to be happy. And then that's when shit goes wrong and you're going to really have to just buckle down and push through those moments so that you can finally get to the point where you can scale. The more detailed you are in documenting your journey and in documenting the work that you do, the easier it's going to be. But all these levels are very important because as an entrepreneur, there's like 4 levels. There's the number 1, you're going to have that job mentality where you kind of are just doing the job and you have a boss, and then when you become a real entrepreneur, then you're the boss. You have to take the risk. You have to realize that no one's going to come and save you, and you have to do it all yourself, and then you're going to get to the point where you can actually, scale this business, or where you can hire people to do the work. And once you get to that level, it's like a quantum leap, because once you realize that you have built this business that can work on its own, all the parts are working, and you want to keep it as simple as possible for as long as possible. That's really important too. But once you can get that quantum leap where your business is working on its own, then you can really take a step back and you can start to find gaps in the market. You can start to go after certain niches. You can start to raise your prices and go strictly for affluent customers or high ticket offers, or take a different look at a different business, but always maintaining that focus. But your main goal is to get to that quantum leap where your business can run on its own. And I recommend that you experiment with hiring different people. Try hiring the best, try hiring the cheapest, try hiring nobody and doing as much as you can with family and stuff for a while. Like whatever you have to do to keep the business going, and understand that there's going to be certain dynamics that it comes with running a business, being in control of that business, that you're not going to be ready for necessarily. Things are just going to happen. And that's when you can get a coach, that's when you can build things up, and that's when you can really scale this thing to the moon. I think that is going to kind of wrap it up, but just understanding the steps of how you can build these service businesses is really important. And what we're going to go into next episode is essentially how to build one of these service businesses in like 60 minutes or less. And then after we have built one of these all up, I'm going to start teaching you how you can start generating customers right away. I'm going to show you organic methods. I'm going to show you paid advertising. I'm going to show you content methods. And it's just going to become incredible. So this is The Lion Show. I'm your host, Robert Lyon. If anybody's interested in coaching, go down to the link below, pick a time. I know everybody's super busy with the holidays and things like that, but I just have a lot to offer, and I have a few time slots that are available, and I would love to hop on a call with you, focus on your business, and help you build this up and scale these things. All right? Much love. Take care.